Hello and welcome to this Your PMO training video. This is session 8, and in this session we're going to be looking at downloading the Windows application. So Your PMO is obviously an online service. We host the server and you can connect to it with the browser interface, which is what we've been doing so far. But there's also a dedicated Windows application that you can download and put on your laptop or desktop and connect to the same server, and that in some ways gives you a more use. If you're checking in and out files, it's a particularly useful way of doing it because it handles all the locations for you. It also does a range of other things as well, as we've mentioned a couple as we've gone through these sessions. But you can use both. In fact, you can use both at the same time if you want to, as long as you're careful about where you check things out to. So I'm going to show you in this session how to download and log into the Windows application. So what we're going to do is come to the menu, and we want resources in the help section, and this gives you links to 3 different versions of the same client application. We call it the Windows application or the client. There is a conventional installer, which if you have admin rights on your machine you can run, and it will put everything into program files and your normal preference locations like documents, etc. You will need to though set up the appropriate connection string if you do that, using the string from up here into the installed form window. These other 2 are perhaps more easy to use, and the one I generally recommend for your PMO customers is Portable Client. What this does is it brings down a self-extracting zip which deploys all the materials you need to a single folder. Now that folder you can then run from a USB stick if you want to, and take from place to place, plug into machines and just run everything from that one folder. So it doesn't leave a footprint behind if you're going onto customer sites and things like that. So we'll have a look at that one. So we just simply click on the link and it's going to download it here. So it's asking me, do I want to run it? Yes, I do. Obviously, exactly how the download process works varies from browser to browser. We're using Edge here, but the process will be slightly different. In Chrome, for example, you get a little tray opening up across the bottom and your content showing in there. So once that's scanned, we can do run anyway, and this is going to get a self-extracting zip, and we have to now choose where we want to put this. So I'm going to put this in my desktop so I can find it nice and easily. If you just click the link, it might put it in some strange location like a temporary internet folder. So I'm just going to put it into desktop like that and extract, and you'll see it's going to create a folder for me here called PAB Portable, and I can now open that up, and inside this folder it will have everything that I need for running the Windows application. A bin containing all the application itself, help materials, my documents where it's going to put all of my viewed and checked out files, etc., and this run icon which will allow me to run the application like that. Now I need to log in. Now the first thing we need is the server address. So as I mentioned, if you're running the full installer, you'll need to replace the local host element with your PM Office 24/7, your PMO2 section, this part. So we put that appropriate address in. Like I say, the portable client will come with it automatically. We need our username and we need our password. In my case, I'm just going to copy and paste that from over here. And just like working with the browser interface, it's going to ask us to do our 2-factor authentication. So I've got like that. And the first time you log in, it's going to download all the support files. Now these are the report template materials and help files, etc., which are bang up to date for this version that you're currently using. When you're using the browser, of course, it accesses them directly on the server, but here we download them once to the Windows application, and then you'll only ever need to update them again if you log on and find that they've changed, and it will do that automatically for you. So otherwise they're all held locally, which makes the general day-to-day production of reports and analysis, etc., much quicker. So once that's finished, we'll see our select project form coming up, and we'll see the same sort of layout as we saw broadly in the browser application, but obviously the ability to do that much more within it. So here I've got again my selection of portfolios. This is one we set up in the testing earlier, and I can come in. This was, I think, going to be my Praxis project. There we go, and I'm in, and I can work my way through just as we would have done in the browser. But the difference here when working with files is, let's find a Word file, is when I go to check it out, I don't need to choose a location. It puts it into that folder for me, it puts it into a managed location for me, and then opens it so I can work on it straight away. And then when I'm finished with it, I can just do check back in, and it knows where that managed location is and can put the file back in for me. And that makes it really easy. So you're still working over the internet. You'll obviously need an internet connection to be able to connect to the server. So there's my file. And when I do check back in, it knows that location where it's put it, and it can find it and check it back in for me. Really easy to do. So working on your files, obviously come and look at the advanced, we'll see we've now got 2 versions of it. Working on your files becomes a very easy process. You don't have to think too much about where everything is. Okay, so that's downloading and installing the Windows application, and just a quick look around a couple of the key differences. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any further questions, please do contact us on support, and we'll be glad to help you. Thank you very much.